would like to ask the board for permission to bring the Shellfish Committee's map and put it in this room. It takes up about 3 to 4 feet, and we use it during our meeting, and it would be here for everybody else to use.
I think it's a great idea.
If I may, I'll get permission from the fire company as well to do that. But it would save me taking it in and out of the truck each meeting, and it should be here for all to use. So I'll leave that with you guys, and our next meeting is February 3rd. Yes, Dan?
Can I ask a question kind of unrelated to what you were talking about?
Absolutely.
How important is rockweed to our shellfish industry?
Well, being a philosopher, it's all important.
Right.
Right.
Is there any data we can reference?
Okay, so the reason why clams is such an important thing, this is why your board, the town clerk, and the Shellfish Committee run the ordinance. It's because we still own the clams. They come out of our corporate dirt. They come out of our mud. DMR controls all the other fisheries. They're allowing us to continue to control this fishery. It's the last one. But rockweed is, if anything you must cut free, dig out of the mud, you have to have a permit for it. Harvesting rockweed is a permitted activity.
No, and I'm seeing a push for some private individuals locking down their shoreline for no rockweed harvesting.
This town,
I'm seeing it more and more, and
Yeah.
I just don't know enough to even weigh in on it.
There's a
Okay, well,
whole,
this
there's a
town
whole
had-
study, and there was
right.
a whole piece on it.
we had
Who owns
an
what?
opinion that we should not allow rockweed harvesting around Rogers Island. We found out the hard way that you have to re-up that annually. If you don't, it's off and they can harvest.
Well, they're doing it now.
So-
Well, and that's kind of where I'm headed with this, because then I read this article here.
You used to be able to like put your property on a do not cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Well,
it
you
has to
can,
be every
you
year,
still
which we
can.
didn't know.
You have to individually reach out to each company and notify them, which I have done personally, but that's another conversation. So the reason I ask that though is because, you know, we have a couple pens around Rogers Island, right? And leases that the state gives leases, not the town, right? And we talked about maybe acting locally. Where I'm headed with it though is there's a chemical that they de-lice the salmon with that has been proven to kill lobsters, which is our second biggest industry, or maybe our first, you know. It's just stuff that I think we should keep in focus.
Right.
And
So
we're on the shellfish.
I feel
committee and
from
kinda
what you're saying, we should then partner to be asking for a moratorium on aquaculture leases, which gives the town a moment to chime in and be respected with, you're putting this in our corporate waters. You may be putting it someplace now. Specifically, the Rogers Island pen was cited 20 plus years ago. They're catching it at the end of that window to come back in, maybe not. It looks like there's a lot of pressure at this moment to move the pen. That's all I've been asking for, is move the pen. I'm not looking to shut anything down. There's people that work in this community for them, maybe a few, but their job.
And they collaborate with us quite a bit too.
And they
They're
do.
very
So the
helpful.
idea
It
is
says all kinds of
not to be
things.
destructive to them, but to ask them, can we get a win out of this for everybody? Just move the pen.
Well, and I'm just worried about the ecosystem. If they're using that dimethyl, whatever it is, and it's killing lobsters in the
Right.
trap, and they found that they
Right.
have that chemical that they're using to de-lice their fish, it's like, well, where's the finish line?
That's the reason why they looked
That's what
into
they have.
lumpfish.
Yeah.
Question, Beth, I've heard, and I don't read the reports, but I've heard that they, I don't know about Canada, Canada. can
Canada's
do it.
outlawed.
In America, I've heard that they only use hot water.
No, based
I mean, I don't know.
on what I just read here, Maine
Well, we
still
have,
allows it.
Well, they probably allow it, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they use
I
it.
think
So I would
put
check
that on
with the
the
company.
agenda for next week.
Yeah.
Can you put
Okay,
that on
yeah.
the agenda?
If I
John?
could add just 2
Yeah,
seconds
go
to
ahead.
it. They're attempting to renew these leases, not
20
just one
years,
at,
too.
at Rogers Island, but
Yeah.
the one that is right opposite and begins right where our municipal dock is, all over to the, in front of, in on the wharf and around that corner, where it will make an industrialized look to the bay right there. Plus, it may impede our new harbor because of the size of that lease, the one that's right downtown. And we've been asking them just to move them, we don't oppose them. However, they're now going to renew the leases because they believe they have a new way to get rid of the lice and the sea lice. And it's actually where they will pump the fish out. They pretty much wash the fish because the lice attach themselves to the fish, and then they reintroduce them, and it's all through these pump it and things
Don't
like
they
that.
already have that?
They, well, they have that up on North Lubec, that one.
Yeah.
There is a major building that sits alongside of the pens in the water. It's huge. It looks like a air traffic controller tower. And that has maybe 20 people can work in it, and it's all glass around, just like a traffic control tower. And they then control all the pens, and they can pump the fish, and they're cleaning them. And so that's why they're interested. These two areas, the Roger Island and the one down here, were real bad lice. And even with their chemicals, they couldn't control it because the current runs so hard. And the back bays are where they use that chemical to some effect.
DMR is the agency that cuts the deal where they go. If there was a permitting fee to place the first pens, they should honor that with allowing Cook Aquaculture to move the pens and not charge them for another fee. Because now, this doesn't fit.
Only to work collaboratively with communities. Yeah.
Exactly, I mean, just move the pens, everybody will be happy in the end, everybody. Just move the pens, that's really all that has to take place. They can find probably a better location where it flushes
I'm
better.
under the understanding that more than one person requested a hearing, a DMR hearing, which is putting the lease renewal on hold, is it not?
In a sense, yes, but that
So,
clock was still ticking.
That's
till
like
when-
8 months out.
Yes, it's 8 months out.
which,
And they have a legal challenge. But anyway, thank you very much for your time.
I didn't mean to hijack your, but when you were mentioning,
It's all part
you know,
of the same-
raising
right, it's
clams,
the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
well,
no,
right,
that
we're
that
trying.
is appropriate.
you know.
You know, the exciting part about raising clams is that what we're doing now, those clams will be dug within our lifetime by someone who needs to dig clams or wants to dig clams. That's what the beauty of the committee's actions is about.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Dicky. Report,
Oh,
you're on the agenda.
Oh,
hi.
I guess the only thing we really have going is outside of just the winter road maintenance, working with trying to get everybody to understand the winter parking ban.
Well, I seen the car the other day, that was
That's,
supposed to be done.
that's been an issue, because I think a lot of people think that it's just in town, just the downtown area.
or just when it storms.
Well, couldn't we
Wouldn't
just make some
affect it,
flyers
no.
up so we could put them on the window, you know, even if you just say, look, you're not actually supposed to be here from this time, so they
Well,
know.
I've kind of
I have no problem,
gotten to where I need to go with this one, so I'm hoping that will take care of it. But it is, you know,
yes,
we've had good winters, and we haven't had a lot of storms, but it's to the point that a lot of these places that I'm talking about right now is because of the size of our equipment trying to get turned around on dead-end road and getting back out of there.
What do we have for teeth, anything?
no, but we could at least have a notice.
I mean, it's
I hate to kill people, but it's
Can
been
we not give
known.
a ticket with that thing and
well,
charge
and
them?
that's what it would really come down to, and that's like, I actually did call the sheriff's department, and it was to the point, the conversation I had with them is, I just want you to let me know whose vehicle it is. If it's somebody I know, I wanna go about it the right way and say, can you please move it so that
Well, it's
you
better
don't
than
get a
most
bill
people,
for
most
it.
people just have a code.
Right,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's like, if it stays there and we get weather, then we're gonna have to have a tow.
Yeah.
We don't wanna do
One more
that.
thing from the police, that's all I'm saying.
So, and other than that, we're up in Lubec trimming when we can get up there to get some trimming done and moving along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we've already talked about budget every meeting at 4 until we get done, starting next time. Public comment, committee updates. Told if we have any other, when's your next budget meeting for the county, Nancy?
It's done.
It's done?
We're done. County commissioners passed the budget, good,
I know
before
this.
they all left in December.
20% close.
I'm at 22. And then the bait and switch on coverage.
That's right, that's right.
Just sort of cycling back a little bit, how much in advance before we have our budget meetings will we get a copy of what's being proposed?
Well, if the challenge is the county runs on a calendar year,
I'm just talking about hours.
We're the ones that, Suzette's meeting with the department heads and they're gonna, what we've done in the past is we've had each department head come to, like each meeting, like one department at a time, and they talk about what they need.
Well, I'm okay with that, I just want to know the material that will be,
You usually get it
talking
only
about.
that day unless you wanna come in and get
You
it
would get it earlier, yeah,
earlier that day.
but it just won't, the report, once it's printed, it doesn't update after every warrant. So if it's printed January 29th, let's just say the 29th, whatever the meeting is, it won't update in February, March, and April. So if it says that, 25% spent,
right?
it's gonna be
Well,
more,
I
you're not gonna have an
understand that,
accurate.
but I mean, even a week ahead of
Oh, yeah, you'll
our
have, yeah.
first meeting would be,
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
let's have it a week ahead.
Yes,
Once
we
it's,
will.
once we get that, it's not gonna get updated each time.
No,
that always was my question, my other, is this the most current numbers you have?
that won't be, the
And it is-
binder you get won't be, but we'll have a sheet
Yeah.
that'll show the updated every 2 weeks.
But the ability for the select board members to have it a week before the meeting is crucial.
That
So we're-
binder they will, but the other
Yeah.
stuff they won't. The weekly, the bi-weekly updates, they won't because it's not available until the warrant starts. And that's
The
not,
warrants are done every 2 weeks.
I mean, Ruby could have them ready on a Friday, but then that means if any bills come in, they're gonna wait till the following 2 weeks, which sometimes is okay and sometimes isn't. Kinda
Public
depends on what it
comment?
is.
Well, I'll just make a motion to adjourn.